Where did this come from? Does it date to the 1930s? Or did Martha Stewart produce this about 2 decades ago? Let's find out.
There's an old curiosity shop. Every once in a while I go by there for the fond recollections that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Now, how did Santa know that I wanted it in black and red? There it is. There's my Christmas gift on its way. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it? Wouldn't I just be something going down the street in that thing? Henry's made a lady out of Lizzie. I love it. Come back! Come back! Drat. Oh well. Maybe next year.
Have you seen her? Ain't she great? She's something you'll appreciate. I'm sure you understand just what I mean. Everybody, everywhere is falling for her now. I'm talking about the new Ford, and boy, it's sure a wow. Lay off, people, lay off, folks. None of your sarcastic jokes. Henry's made a lady out of Lizzie. No more bruises, no more rakes. Now she's got those four-wheel brakes. Henry's made a lady out of Lizzie. She's even got a rumble seat and lots of style and class. The horn just seems to holler out, they shall not pass. The Lincoln car is made of tin, they're sisters underneath the skin. Henry's made a lady out of Lizzie. Now she's even learned to stop for every single traffic cop. Henry's made a lady out of Lizzie. Not a rattle, not a bit. Lizzie now has lots of it. Henry's made a lady out of Lizzie. There's everything inside her now except the kitchen sink, a mirror and a powder puff, a shower bath, I think. I'll bet my socks that this Miss Ford will live as long as Fanny Ward. Henry's made a lady out of Lizzie. C-O-D, F-O-B, all you need is do-re-mi. Henry's made a lady out of Lizzie. Since he lifted up her face, she travels at an awful pace. Henry's made a lady out of Lizzie. She's not like Calvin Coolidge, she's a girl who likes her fun. She says, imagine anyone who doesn't choose to run. You should get delivery by 1933. Henry's made a lady out of Lizzie.
Well, here I am digging around in a Burlington, New Jersey thrift shop, which is new to me. It recently opened. And here for just $2 is an Art Deco cream and sugar with the lid and the little black. Sometimes it's wood. Let me feel this. And sometimes it's Bakelite. This is, I can't really, yeah, I think it is Bakelite. Anyway, again, you know, these would have come with a matching percolator. But it's great to have the lid, and these will clean up nicely, and they're only $2 with no dents. So I'm gonna match them up with some of my other Art Deco chrome. Yeah, there's a lot of furniture in here and different things, bric-a-brac. I'm the only one here right now. I just left the flea market. And oh, look at the blue willow missing its lid. There's one of those swan powder jars where you put the lipstick right here. It's pretty in crystal. There's a lot of furniture here as well. And but the chrome set there is the only thing I see that I think I'm going to go ahead and buy. I don't really see anything else. It's just one of those things you never know, so you stop every time. All right, let's get it. $2. 1930s. I will look through the books, though. They're only $1 each. Look at all the Lucy. The VHS tapes. Mm-hmm. Good morning, everyone. I didn't say good morning. I just jumped right in and forgot to greet you all. You all. How are you? That looks like some of that anniversary stuff. Am I out of focus again? That's a nice, well, it's an old lamp. Let's see, not terribly old. I can't see what it says on that tag, but I don't think I'll buy that. Look at the furniture. Anything good in here? Oh no, I don't think so. Okay, let's hit the pike. Ew, I'm stuck behind a city trash truck. But isn't that supposed to be good luck? You know, like when a bird poops on your head? Well, we'll see. Well, good folks, here I am and I've been shopping again. I've got a couple of things to show you. I made a fantastic antique lamp discovery. It was a wonderful price and it's unique and you're going to see the whole thing, so stay tuned for that. Also, I found a nice old 1930s mirror I'm about to show you, but somebody took a can of spray paint to it in the attempts of improving it. Well, I'm going to improve it. You're going to see that as well. So stay tuned. Well, here it is, a nice old 3-section antique mirror. Well, not quite antique yet. It's from the 30s, but it's close to antique. Now, it hangs on the wall. Some of these are hinged and they could stand on top of dressers, you know, that kind of thing. So here are the decorative screws, and it's etched as well, we can see here. And it has a nice gesso fruit basket on the top. And obviously you can see someone has taken some type of greenish, bluish, metallic paint, which we're going to have to reverse that. But I like this kind of thing. I'm going to show you the label on the back in just a moment. Well, there's the back of the mirror, and it's always nice when you find an original label, which we'll zoom in on right here. And it looks like this is called the Noure, I don't know if it's, how to say that, Maestro mirrors, the Noure companies, and then it's very small. What does that say? Bloomfield. We've got Bloomfield, Indiana. Looks like Burlington, Iowa, St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, and Memphis. Mirrors, and it says New Beauty right here. I'm not sure what was new about it, but it would have been pretty modern looking for the 1930s. Well, the beautiful morning sun is coming through the front windows here. Actually, the sun is reflecting off of the high-rises because my windows face the west. And of course, it's much too early for the sun to be over here on this side. So we're actually seeing, believe it or not, well, why don't I just show you instead of, see the reflection right there off of the Comcast building? We're looking dead west right there, okay? That would be to the north, and you're all dizzy, that would be to the south. So the sun is coming through, but it's reflecting off the skyscrapers there. Anyway, enough of the geography. We can now see in the sunlight the beautiful lamp here, and we're going to do some detective work on this base, because you know it's going to be disturbing me. Well, I actually already have an answer. But before we look at the base, let's take a look again at this beautiful shade. And I'll just spin it around here and let you see. Boy, I tell you, if the person painting this shade wasn't sitting there with a piece of Newcomb College pottery, they certainly were influenced by this type of design. This beautiful sort of arts and crafts design. It's just so well executed. And the clouds and all of that. Okay. Now we know, at least I'm absolutely certain, that the shade did come with this base. I don't believe them to be a marriage. I know this is a Pittsburgh base because it's signed. And because of the work that Pittsburgh did with their glass shades, painted glass shades, I have no doubts either. We'll go down here to the base, which is a minty green, which is someone has done. But if we come up here and we get focused in, we'll see I did some detective work and just a little bit of scratching, even what's left of this fingernail. I can scratch off, and underneath we can see, is it focusing in? We can see here that we have this ivory colored paint. There we go. And then if we come up here even farther, we can see we only have 2 coats. This green coat that was added, who knows when, the original patina, this ivory patina underneath, and then the base of the lamp itself, which is brass. And boy, we would expect it, since the lamp is made by the Pittsburgh Lamp, Brass, and Glass Company. There, I said it without messing up. So there's the original brass, then the white ivory patina, and then this green paint, which has been spray painted on and just sort of just scratches off. We'll zoom back. Well, here I am sitting in my car eating a roast beef sandwich with extra horseradish and sipping on a Diet Coke. This is lunch today. What are you guys having for lunch? I just came back from the thrift shop, and let me show you what I found. Well, it's always a great day for me when I find some interesting green depression glass, as it is some of the glass that I love finding. And today I found not just 1, but 2 of these kitchen canisters. Now, when I think of this type of glass, we mostly think of the 1930s, the late 20s into the early 40s, but mostly the 1930s. And usually I think of about 4 companies that could possibly make the kitchen glass like this, which would be Hocking Glass, later to become Anchor Hocking, Jeanette McKee, and Hazel Atlas. Now, everybody marked their glass. All 4 of those companies did, some of the time. Unfortunately, we don't have any marks on the bottom of this to determine who made it. I say we don't have any marks. There are some numbers on the bottom which are going to be tricky for you to see, and I'm not so sure that you're going to be able to. But we don't see any marking on here that indicates that it is a Hocking glass, or that it is McKee, Jeanette, or Hazel Atlas. And so I have to take a look at it and go through my books, but I pretty much have determined that. But my gut feeling is that it is actual depression glass from the 1930s. A couple of reasons. One, the way the numbers appear on the bottom, and there's a lot of wear, which again, you're probably not going to see unless you look maybe right there. And again, that just is going to come from decades of being scraped around. But also the way this lid is fashioned. Do you see this lid? And I really don't like these lids, and I think it's why most of the time they're broken. In order to take this lid off, you have to pinch this and then lift the lid up. But if your hands have anything on them at all that's greasy, sticky, or whatnot, it's really hard to get this lid off. And those of you who have this glass, you know what I'm talking about. So I think most people probably just pick it up like that, rather than trying to pinch this little tiny piece of glass, which I can hardly even get a hold of myself. So let's go inside and throw a black light on these and see what happens. I think they're going to glow. Do they contain uranium? I think so. The one on the left still has its plastic tape on it, or whatever tape is made out of, and the price tags on the bottom, $3.49 each. So I haven't taken the plastic off of that one yet, and here's this one. So they're both in really good condition. There's a tiny little edge chip right there, but remarkably no chips on the lid. And there don't appear to be any chips on this lid either. So really happy about these 2 1930s kitchen jars from the Depression era. It was a great buy. Well, here is my fantastic 16, 17, 18 lamp find, which came from an antique store not too far from here, but actually in my home state of New Jersey. I'm being very careful, so don't worry. and the cap is screwed on so this won't go flying off. But there we have a wonderful typical lamp. These lamps were popular from the turn of the century into the 1920s, but it's such an unusual shade, and if we zoom in on it, now I'm going to zoom in on it later and let you have a closer look. I really had to do a double take on this shade. The way they've done this sort of outlining in black is something that you saw in arts and crafts motifs, and I keep thinking, although I keep repeating myself, this reminds me of something like Newcomb College pottery, if you're familiar with that type of pottery work, the way the shade is done. So now the lamp, unfortunately, as we'll look at in just a minute, has been painted. Well, it was originally painted, but someone went and repainted it. So I'm going to have to restore a patina on this lamp. And I have some options, because when these lamps were made, the Pittsburgh Lamp, Brass and Glass Company, try to say that, Pittsburgh Lamp, Brass and Glass Company. When they made these, you could get several different patinas on these bases. After scraping, I could tell this was the ivory base, and I'm just going to have to determine what I want to do with it. But just to show you, this is another slag glass lamp base, not made by Pittsburgh, but it has an original ivory patina on the bottom, and you can see what happens over the years. It chips, it gets dirty, you see the undercoat, the primer coat, sometimes underneath. And so it's not surprising that at some point somebody comes along with a can of spray paint and they improve it. I kind of prefer it this way, but with this lamp over here, the value is in that shade. Woo! I think I told you I paid $100 for it, which was a steal. I don't know how unusual the shade is. Pittsburgh Lamp, Brass and Glass Company made a lot of painted shades and reverse painted shades, so we'll see. Here's an update on this wonderful Art Deco Feta radio that I bought in Scranton just a short while ago. I don't know, but whether you remember, the grill cloth was torn and filthy, so I have my new piece of replacement grill cloth came in, and I took the radio apart. Obviously, I took the chassis out and cleaned the Bakelite, and then I go over it with brown shoe polish and paste wax after that. And you just buff and buff and buff and buff and buff. And then you wind up with this wonderful, and this is an all original, well, except for the grill cloth, it's a reproduction. Everything else is original on it. And it needs work. I discovered that the speaker has problems. All the capacitors are going to have to be replaced. So it's one of those, wait until there's a snowstorm and then get on the workbench and recap it. I've got a lot of radios like that. But my neighbor, before he went away, he's a snowbird, so he took off for warmer weather, gave me this orchid and this huge poinsettia down there on the floor. I don't know how well, that covers the entire fireplace. Obviously, I have to move it. You know, I never could have plants when the cat was here, except for a snake plant. So what I'm going to do now is get this stuff cleaned up, and you can see a little peek of the Christmas tree. You'll see more of it later. But that's probably going to be it for right now. Although this video, I've been jumping all over the place, but I guess I will go ahead and say, I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop. Wait for the cat. Thanks for watching, and so long for now.